And we are recording, Mr. Matt.
I'm ready.
I am ready
Sun's
to
out,
rock.
guns out.
Yeah,
Hey,
brother. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one. It's fucking muggy out. I think it's time to.
it is. My
Right into
mom's in
world.
Maryland. She's in the pool. She's like, it's beautiful in Maryland. Like, the fuck?
Okay, jealous. I'm so jealous
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
raining here.
I
Are you
almost
gonna
called your
watch
mom
the
the B
game later?
word.
I think. Are you gonna watch the game? I think it's England's playing.
Oh yeah, the World Cup's heating up, my brother.
I've actually tuned in a bit. I didn't think I would get so excited about it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a battle of the European teams with England facing off against Norway. That's how the British announcers are gonna call it. So I'm trying to pay homage to them. So we got a hell of a game there, pal. It'll be fantastic. Oh my god, what a play! We ready for some football?
Can you pass me the what? I'm sorry, what? I'm so thirsty. Can you pass me the Huh?
Excuse me, sir. Are you having a stroke? I see a bottle.
That sounds like me on a Tuesday.
When Zemo loses a bet.
Yeah, exactly. What can you do?
Oh Lord. So you were telling me now that my wedding is getting closer, almost 40 something days here, that you went to got fitted today or yesterday.
I did, and the guy that measures. So I will say, the Black Tux is a beautiful establishment.
Yeah,
and they made it very easy for me. So I felt very supported because I'm not a fan. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm not a fancy guy. I mean, even my shirt has a butthole on it. So
wait, whose butthole is that?
I'm not that. It's just a deer's butthole.
A deer's butthole. And what brand is that sells deer's assholes? And how did you come across it? This is what I want to know.
Oh, well, okay. So butthole in Spanish is culo,
Yes.
but in Portuguese is cu.
Oh.
And so this says teu cu. It's like saying fuck you in Portuguese, I guess. So I'm not sure what brand it is. It's from Brazil.
Got it. That's pretty cool.
But anyway, so I showed up there yesterday, and I think that he was almost relieved because I'm gay and he was gay. So he was like, oh, like, we can talk the same language. But I was clearly a deer in headlights with my butthole hanging out like this guy. So I was a deer in headlights, and I was like, I don't know these things. And he every time I tried something on, he was like, yes, beautiful. I love it. Yes. I was like, oh, okay. And so he's like, do you want like a slim fit? Do you want extra slim? I was like, what do you think? He's like, extra slim all the way. I said, okay. So I'm gay, but I'm not that gay. But I think that he was disappointed because I was just so clueless.
I would have been psyched. It was like, yes, yeah. I'm like, yes, all right. I love getting encouragement.
I asked at one point, I said, there's all these buttons on the side. Do I just pick whichever button I want to put my pants on? And he was like, no, those buttons are for suspenders. Like, they're for suspenders, you half-wit, Wow. And so I was like, oh, wow, suspend. I'm so excited. And he looked at me like, the fuck?
The funny thing is,
and then
I actually know that the buttons are for suspenders, too.
I didn't know.
I've been groomsman enough now. I learned the first time, though. The first time I wore those pants, I was like, what the fuck are these?
Well, I asked him, I said, now, is it customary to wear like an undershirt or like a tank under this? And he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. He's like, obviously a tank. He's like, never short sleeves because it doesn't photograph well. So I guess if you wear a short sleeve undershirt underneath that white shirt, you'll see the short sleeve through it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's true. But
he's like,
I'm going to have to bite the bullet on that one because I'm going to wear, especially for pictures and shit, I'm going to wear a undershirt that has like the pit shit for the sweaters, That thing has been a
Yeah.
game changer for me. And then maybe later on I'll take it off and switch to a tank top if I'm going to be coatless. But with my
So
coat on for pictures, no one's going to see it.
I wasn't gonna wear anything under it, but he was like,
Oh
obviously. I was like,
yeah, you
okay.
want to because you will sweat, and then with white it shows, So that's the problem. At least with me, also the vest will cover some of that up, which is also why I wear a vest. It's to stand out a little bit from you guys, but also you know covers up all the strategic spots.
Well, I can just tell you that at the beginning of the fitting, he was very excited to talk to a fellow gay. By the end, I think that he was a little disappointed because I was like, oh, shiny shoes. He was like, patent leather. Like, oh yes, patent leather. Sorry.
Wait, I just realized. Did we do the 3, 2, 1?
No.
Okay. Well, we're 6 minutes in, and it's already a hell of a show. We're gonna rock you, motherfuckers. We're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1.
What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge!
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the FratChat Podcast.
All young men like 3 things. Food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris Simo Moore. How's it going, Mr. Mo?
What up, G? I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I forgot we were in the middle of a hilarious story there. I'm sorry you disappointed the gays.
I'm always like disappointment.
I know, but to be fair, you were just complaining about. Well, not complaining actually. Your friends were complaining about you being the only straight at my bachelor party during Pride weekend. Say, how did it feel and shit to be surrounded by all those straights? Now you know what it's like to be a sub gay, a lesser than gay. You got dethroned, brother. You're no longer the gayest.
I know. You know what? Chris Hauk told me that I'm the straightest gay person he's ever met because I talk about I guess I think I do like locker room talk.
Yeah, you're pretty locker, especially when you're hammered. I just saw some video of you talking to somebody about the shirt, and you're asking them about the flamingos on the shirt, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got flamingos in my shirt." And you just go, "Oh, cool! Flamingos make me horny as fuck," and you can just see him go like, "Okay."
I said that?
Yes, you did. I'll send you the clip. It's just big as shit. It's so aggressive.
They really don't though.
Yeah.
I don't really get horny off of birds.
This is definitely like 3 a.m. hammered Simo. If I had to guess, I might even have it here. Hold on. Let's see. I'm doing a lot of videoing on my phone. No, I do not. I'll find it as the show goes on.
On a different note, I just started working out with the new trainer.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
I'm sore, but like in a good way. And I've been tracking my macros. I've never done this before, so I use this app, and every day I put in throughout the day I put in exactly what I eat and what brand it is, and this app has access to all food products across the world, and so it will determine the protein contents, how many grams of carbs and grams of fat. So my goal every day is to do roughly 140 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. And so I was talking to him and I said, I think something's wrong. He's like, why? I said, I already hit my fat content and it's like 8 in the morning. He's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I made eggs, bacon, and some avocado. That's healthy, right? He's like, no. He said, it's a lot of fat. I was like, yeah, but avocado is like a good fat. He's like, yeah, it's still fat though. It's like, so he's like, so did you use olive oil? I was like, yeah, I tracked everything. He's like, one like tablespoon of olive oil is a lot of fat.
Yeah.
Eggs, especially the yolk, is a lot of fat. Bacon has a lot of fat. Avocado, yeah. So yeah, you can't have any more fat today. It's like, oh my God. Okay, so I think I hate this. I'm really struggling to like have like nice lean meals because how do you cook anything on the stove without olive oil? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to just use the spray and barely of that, and do egg whites, and maybe turkey bacon has less. I think 75% less fat. You could do that, and no avocado. But like, to be honest, that's why I say fuck those type of things. Like, that is a perfectly healthy breakfast, especially if you're trying to fucking get some muscle on, brother. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, obviously you don't want to eat bacon. Well, you don't want to eat pork bacon every day. Turkey bacon you can eat more often because again, 75% is fat. Turkey is high in protein and shit. It's a lean meat, even though obviously bacon is bacon. But if you oven bake your bacon, and especially you don't fry it, then you don't have to use any oil or anything with it whatsoever. You can eat it more often. Pork bacon, you don't want to eat pork that often. Pork is delicious, don't get me wrong. But, it is high in fat and not necessarily always the best one. So it can start clogging those arteries after a while, So you want to be careful with the long-term bacon. But it is delicious.
Well, I did my meal prep. I found this recipe for like taco like rice bowls, I guess. It's with turkey, ground beef, taco seasoning, and some salsa and some white rice. So I measured things out, but last night I was just so hungry, so I ate like 3 of those bitches. And then I looked at my macros, it was like through the roof. Like, fuck, they're so small. They're so small.
Well, that's also like with diets, you got to find something that's sustainable because otherwise that's what happens. And even if you end up binge eating later on, that's not beneficial. And like that's what my problem with a lot of diets was, that I ended up finding myself starving. So eventually you break. You know what I mean? Like eventually, if you're starving enough after day 5, like you're gonna go fucking crazy, and then you're gonna eat until you're full, and that's a problem. Because you don't get full after you've been starving for that while. So then it's just like, oh God, I ate so much food. I'm a piece of shit, and so that's also not good. So I don't know. It's all about finding something. Like I have to say, I make fun of Julie all the time, but like she for breakfast has like this like giant tub of yogurt with like a bunch of fruits in it and shit, and it's like massive, but there's like not a ton of like calories in it and shit. It's all really good stuff. And then you're full most of the day. That's why I kind of was starting eating yogurts myself. It's filling. It's good for you. It doesn't take a ton of calories. Like this Chobani one I'm having also has 20 grams of protein in it, which is absolutely insane for 170 calories. And it actually tastes good. No, we're not sponsored by Chobani. I just happen to be drinking it.
But we'll take the sponsorship. That'd
be nice.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, last thing. Hey, Julie. Last thing. Can you pass me the roast poster?
Yeah.
I'm going to show that to the people. But yeah, go on.
There's something else I was going to say about that. And then
Chobani? Eating protein?
No. I was just going to say that I don't eat that much, but once someone tells me that I can't, I'm instantly hungry. Oh, yeah. It's just psychosomatic for me.
Totally. It's like at the hospital. I remember when I got appendicitis surgery and shit. And I had to have it twice because one time it ruptured and I've shut the store on the pod. But anyways, as soon as the nurse came in, I remember sitting there. I hadn't had water in a while. Didn't need it. Wasn't even thinking about it. The nurse came in and was like, okay, well, we're going to go into surgery soon. So no more water from now on until after surgery. And then as soon as she left, I remember telling her, "Lady, you made the biggest mistake." I said, "Why?" Because now you told me I can't have water, and now I fucking want water. I'm thirsty. And so she fucking handed me some ice chips. She said, "You can kind of suck on the ice chips, but then, don't swallow the water." And so, you fucking asshole. But yeah, as soon as someone tells you can't do something, that's the first thing you want to do. Of course. But by the way, this is from the bachelor party, y'all. The roast of Carlos.
That's so good.
Yeah, that is so great. Everybody's name right there. SEMA is hosted by Chris Moore. Yeah, right there.
I still think I was the meanest one.
Yeah, you're pretty mean.
I think I was expecting everyone to really go ham.
Yeah, some were pretty mean. I like that cold hours was so absurd. But people don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, some are very mean. Some are funny all around. And some are just more absurd. I have to say, I kind of genuinely feel bad about roasting my buddy's hairline to death.
That was funny though, with the 9/11 reference.
Yeah, so his hairline reminds me of the New York City skyline the day after 9/11.
You know what?
Sometimes you got to tell a
made
friend,
fun of-
it's time to let it go.
I made fun of Chris Houck simply because he plays pickleball, and I made it seem like he was such a nerd for playing pickleball, and it made me feel so bad because I've always liked Chris Houck, but just spending more time with him that weekend, like he is such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's the
such a
sweetest
nice guy, and I just felt. I
told you, it's hard to roast him.
That I was,
he's so nice. Everybody else is like a
the
terrible
nicest.
person, so you can totally roast them. But Chris Houck is like almost in like the Ned Flanders of my friends. You know what I mean? He is so friendly and nice that it's almost like it's just impossible to hate him. And I know Homer hates Ned Flanders, but I can't. I love Ned Flanders. He's so gentle and nice and friendly, and just always so helpful. That should have been his pledge name. He's just fantastic. All he needs is a mustache, and I'd literally be like, dude, Ned Flanders. But he is the greatest ever. He's just so nice. So I remember roasting everybody else was really easy. The jokes for him came last because he was just too nice. Like, it was like, oh shit, like, what can I actually say about someone that you've never, like, I don't think I've ever really been mad at him about anything. I don't think he's ever said anything like, I mean, we lived together, so we had like stupid arguments, but I've never been like genuinely like, man, fuck you or whatever, like nothing. Like, it's just such a friendly guy. That's like, how do you roast someone like that? So yeah, that means he's like a nice person. So good for him. Good for him. But anyway.
I went a little hard. I'm not gonna say what his name is on here, but the one that I think does the most cocaine. I talked about his finances. And I thought we were all gonna. I thought I set the tone. Everyone's gonna be mean like that, but a couple people were like, I was like, sorry guys.
Yeah, but hey, I'm down to do that again any day of the week. So, anywho,
yeah, me too.
It's time to hear from you guys because it's emails from the listeners, and this time we both got some relatively short ones, which is nice, but we got some good ones. So, this was tough to pick from because I just took a skim at yours, and that is a great question. Okay. I say you start. Actually, no, I'll start.
Okay.
Because people might not have seen what mine's about. Meanwhile, yours is more general. So I'll start.
Well, that's great because I'd never finish last. Oh my God.
Anywho, so we got Ashley from Tampa writing in, and I'm so glad I looked at this shit this morning because me and Julie were literally talking about this last night. So she goes, "Is it just me, or are these three unbearable this season?" He goes, "Hey, FratChat, please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind watching The Valley this season. Are you guys watching? And if you are, Janet, Brittany, and Lala driving you absolutely insane? Because I swear Janet and Brittany have exactly one move this season. Pull out the victim card every single time someone even slightly disagrees with them. It's exhausting. And Lala, she couldn't make it more obvious that she's there to stir the pot and manufacture drama. I know that's reality TV, but she's not even trying to hide it anymore. And it's getting so annoying. Is it me or are they just super annoying this season? I need to know if I'm being dramatic, if everybody else is yelling at their TV too. Bravo, help, love the show. Ashley from Tampa. Have you been watching The Valley? I haven't watched it with Julie.
I have been watching it.
Ooh, it is.
I'm looking at the cast right now just so I can put a face to everyone. Okay, I remember Lala and Brittany. I don't know who Janet is.
She is just like the proverbial a-hole. It's just like everything she does is just like annoying and mean. And like the thing is, like, then she'll play the victim card. But Brittany has been like on a huge victim card ride. And it's like, and this is going to sound very mean, right? So I'm going to preface this by saying that. But she'll be like talking about how like she got like a lipo and a lift, a mommy makeover is what it's called and shit, but like all the shit. And she's like, it's because I'm trying to get over my baby weight body. It's like, bitch, you had a child 6 years ago. Alice had 2 kids in the time that, like that kid is like a little fucking person. Like literally after surgery, they showed her like housing a pizza. It's like, come on. And I don't want to fucking body shame anyone. No, that's not the intent here. But it's like, don't fucking act like you're not, like, come on. Like, you're not even trying to put in the work whatsoever here. And you're just blaming it on shit. And then every time, like, she's been, like, blabbering on about her getting her sparkle back. And the way she says it is so fucking annoying. I got to get my sparkle back. My sparkle. And she does everything she fucking does is talking about her goddamn sparkle. And Lala wasn't in the show last season. So I'm pretty sure that she 1,000% got brought in just to like stir the pot because she like implants herself.
I love Lala.
I usually did. And she's like, very beautiful and she's funny. But this season, like she definitely got hired to be on this show to like literally just like butt into people's arguments and start stirring the pot. And the funny thing is that she's sober now. She doesn't drink, but she waits till people have a few drinks in them to stir the pot. So it's a very calculated thing for sure. And I don't know if it's a producer telling her to do that or what's going on, but it's like very clear that she got brought in like, okay, you're going to be the shit stirrer. You're going to get these people fighting over dumb shit. And my God, it was interesting at first, but it is just getting annoying because you really do find yourself yelling at the TV. And I told Julia, like, man, these people are exhausting me this season. There is some greatness in it though, which keeps me watching. Like Tom Schwartz got brought in this season as a full cast member, and he's great to watch.
I love Tom Schwartz. He's my favorite Tom.
Yeah, he's the best. And this guy Zach, the resident gay of the show, has been really funny this season and entertaining. So I kind of love him. And Kristen Doty has been entertaining. So there's people that like keep me watching, but good Lord, the other ones are exhausted. So I'm with Ashley.
I think that Janet was in headlines recently because of I think she shared a sexual assault story from her past. So I think that she's in
she brought that up on the show past episode. But I mean that's the thing, like you can't like speak against stuff like that because I'm not going to. It just seems the timing of how she did it was just odd in a way where I don't know. I get the point, I guess, because it was in response to this dude who got drunk and I guess made someone uncomfortable. Maybe inappropriate touching is the word, but I don't want to go as far as that because I don't really remember exactly the specifics. But then she's saying kind of like all her behavior is because of this incident, and it's like her behavior is shitty overall to other people, and it has nothing to do with that. It just seems like she's trying to like find a storyline where she'll become the victim, and it just seems convenient. But if this did happen to her, which I'm not doubting her in any way, then I feel really awful, and that fucking sucks. Like that, whew. And I hope that dude got a kick in the nuts. But yeah, no, it's she's just if you have to watch it to understand just how much of a B word this woman is, and she also stirs the pot, but in different ways, and then she plays the victim a lot. So then her and Brittany, just victim, victim queen in 101 back and forth. It just gets really fucking annoying, So anyway, yeah, Ashley, you're not wrong, dude. But keep watching because I feel like the people that are worth watching are still there, and not like the others aren't worth it. It's just they just need a little shift in storyline there.
Did you see on TikTok? Did I send you a video of Tom Sandoval pushing his girlfriend's dad in the fire pit?
Yeah, dude, I saw that. It's crazy. They were like
What the
arguing
fuck?
and shit, and then for some reason the guy gets up and Tom Sandoval pushes him and just right over like one of those like fire pit bowl things that looks like a giant walk fire pit, and then like tipped over and his ass was on fire. Like literally, his ass was on fire.
So
and he like put it out. And yeah, that's crazy. That
relationship's never gonna recover from that.
Yeah, no. I don't think you could ever like walk your daughter down the aisle to a guy that pushed you into a fire on your ass.
Nor is he gonna pay for that wedding. He's like, no way.
Yeah,
I think there's some people that they're like always surrounded by drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I hear the things at like my local bar. I hear stuff from other people, and there's some spats here and there, and there's some like drama. I'm never part of any of it.
Yeah.
I'm very transparent. I call it like I see it. If I don't like something, I say it. If it hurts feelings, that's not my intention. But I'm just a very direct person.
Yeah.
I think that the bar scene can be very incestuous in the neighborhood, so I don't fraternize in that capacity, but I think that there's some people who are like, I don't know why this always happens. I think you do. I think you're a messy, and I think you love drama and you make bad decisions.
And you're attracted. People are attracted to that shit.
One of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Sandoval is always be surrounded by drama because he's just a dramatic little bitch.
Yeah, he is very dramatic, actually.
It's always going to happen.
Absolutely.
Learn from this.
Yeah, especially because, like, it was one thing when he was like a young pup on the Vanderpump Rules, when he was like 28 years old, okay, you can still make some dumb mistakes. But he's like his mid 40s now, Like, you got to learn at some point. You really do. It's not cute. And he's going to end up in jail or some shit. Like, he's lucky that the guy didn't press charges. Because that could have been like attempted fucking murder. You know what I mean? So,
totally. Manslaughter or something,
Yeah, absolutely. Not good. Anyways,
well,
what
I have
you
a
got?
letter too. So mine is from Jackie from Baltimore. Maryland. My dad was a Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Oh, down in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, so Jackie, I'm assuming it's a girl, right?
I think so.
George. So I think Jackie's a girl.
Unless it's Jackie Robinson, but yeah, I'm gonna assume it's his girl.
Right. Okay, so she wrote, "Dear FratChat fellas,
Hey.
an interesting article surfaced and I wanted your thoughts."
Okay.
And then the article reads, Debbie Wood became known as the world's most jealous woman after revealing that she asks her husband Steve to take a lie detector test every time he comes home. She writes, "Could you live with a partner like this? If not, what would be your exit strategy?" So Carlos did some research and sent me some information about Debbie Wood. Wood has said she lives with what's called Othello syndrome, and it's a rare psychiatric condition that causes persistent and often delusional beliefs that a partner is being unfaithful. At the height of her condition, she also monitored her husband's emails, restricted what he could watch on TV, and closely checked his daily activities. So her husband Steve has publicly said he chose to stay with her while she sought treatment for this disorder, which makes him sound like a nice guy, but also to me he sounds like a pushover. I think he's scared. Like blink twice if you're scared. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest, she is pretty scary looking, and
Yeah.
he's like a teeny
Skinny.
tiny guy.
It's like on Jerry Springer's always like the big girls, the mousy little dudes, you know?
Or like in that '70s show, they showed like a clip where it was like Eric thinking of what it would be like to be married to Donna in the future, and Eric is all skinny, like super skinny and bald, and Donna is like huge, and it's apparently because she eats all the food and he doesn't get anything but the scraps. He's like, my hair is eating itself, that's why I'm bald. That's like
I met her in Brooklyn. I met her in Brooklyn, and she wasn't very nice.
Oh, really?
But she was also 9 months pregnant. So maybe
she gets a pass. Pregnant,
Yeah.
hormones. You have a fucking cannonball in your goddamn stomach. Your ankles are fucking huge. Your boobs are massive. Yeah, you can't help it, dude. And if it's New York heat and anybody involved, it's making life way worse. I can't imagine what it's like to be pregnant. I don't even like it just when I like have to take a poop and it's just like sitting there. And, that alone is uncomfortable. I can't imagine having a giant one just sitting there for 9 months, just getting bigger. Yeah.
I think this is a really, really hard situation for exit strategy, because if you were attempting to exit, it would be uncovered during a lie detector test. And if she monitors everything, like to me, that's a really hostile environment. I can tell you. So my ex would go through my phone and then like would misconstrue things, or like monitor like my social media presence. Like I have a friend who lost some weight, and I just commented, "Hey, looking good, buddy." And then when I came home from work, like we sat down to talk about it, because he was like, "Who is this person?
What do you mean looking good?
Are you fucking him?" No, I just
my dad.
Judging him on like a milestone, And so, it just makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes I actually, with my ex, I would just not go anywhere. If I was off and he wasn't, I would just stay home and like just watch TV. Because I was like, he's gonna have a meltdown if I go somewhere, because I don't have to like explain things. It's just easier just avoid the situation.
Jeez.
But when I would go out with like my old roommate, he would FaceTime her and be like, I just want to make sure Chris is there. It was to me that level of paranoia,
that's creepy,
and controlling and possessiveness, to me is like a big problem. I think it's psychotic.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking weird.
So I feel bad for Steve. And even though Steve says that he chose to stay with her, he didn't have a choice. He didn't choose anything. He had to.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Otherwise, she's going to beat his ass.
Yeah, she's definitely going to destroy him.
I want to know what would happen if she found something.
Yeah, that's fucking tough. But I guess it's impossible, because if she monitors everything, like, how can he possibly have, But yeah, the thing is, if you don't know Othello, that's the one where he kills his wife and shit. He basically has like a mental breakdown.
Well, I can tell you that if it was me, if it was that bad, I'm taking my ass to a shelter.
Yeah, Jesus.
And I'm calling 911. I'm saying, guys, it's not
if
safe.
I
That's
know
not
I
a safe
have the
environment.
symptom, I mean, I guess everybody deserves love, and if this dude's willing to stay with it, then good for her and good for them. But it's like, if I myself know that I'm always going to think that you cheated on me and stuff, and I'm going to be like this paranoid, I don't know that I would want to date. That's just me. Like, I already went through a jealous period in life when I was younger, a young teenage boy with weird hormones running through me, and, being insecure with yourself, you start thinking things that are stupid, and that was stressful. I can't imagine living like that forever. Like,
I've never have gone through any of my ex's stuff. Never gone through like someone's phone, or like would call to make sure that they were where they said they were supposed to be. I feel like once that like level of trust is gone, then like you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not that person, but I will say one time, oh, this is actually pretty good. So I dated this guy in Chicago, and he was really bad news. And we lived together, and I moved out. And right before I moved out, there was like this like journal on the bed. I didn't know he had a journal just on the bed, and I thought, did he leave this out for me? And I glanced at it, and it was him. He wrote every journal entry like to God. It was like,
No.
dear Heavenly Father. And it was all like, it was him like repenting and like coming clean about all the bullshit he would do. Like borrowing money from people and not paying back, and then lying about like a cashier's check is lost in the mail or whatever. It was really, really horrible. And so I made photocopies of a lot of these. I know it sounds horrible, but I needed ammunition. So we broke up in the fall, and I called him. I said, listen, I know that you're going to come to my friend's Thanksgiving, but obviously you're not because we're broke up. He's like, well, they're my friends too. I said, no, you were my plus one and you can't come. He's like, well, I plan on coming. I said, I will make it uncomfortable for you if you do. And so I laminated those photocopies, and I made fucking placemats for everyone because I was not playing. I was that bitch. I sure was. And people were like, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to be part of your like relationship drama. I'm like, well, you say that now, but you're actually listed on that one. You should go read that one out loud.
Yeah.
He wrote about you. He wrote about you too. Did you lend him money? Yep, you're right there. So so I let him have it. That's the only thing I've ever done. By that point, we were already broke up. And I was being messy.
Yeah,
That's like the only thing I think I've ever done that was like really messy.
That was pretty messy.
Otherwise,
whatever. He deserved it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not a total asshole. I brought trail mix to Thanksgiving. Just kidding.
Everybody loves trail mix.
Anyhow, what do we have in the news today?
Oh yeah, it is time for the news. Tiny hand, Okay, we got ourselves some good news here. Well, not good news at all, just a good news segment, but bad news, because here's one that should make everybody pay attention. Sure, slurp away, Simo. This is the perfect time to do that. Let's go ahead, make sure you got every last drop there.
Oh, I'm drinking the Red Bull. Is Juneberry a real fruit?
Ginberry? I don't think it is.
Juneberry.
How do you spell that? June? Like the month?
These are one of my favorite Red Bulls. I was like, I need to buy some of these June berries. I'm just so scared to buy produce right now because have you seen the news that there's like parasite in like fruits and it gives you month-long diarrhea?
Oh.
Have you heard about that?
No. I guess you've been eating those fruits for years, huh?
Wait, so
and the Juneberry is a real thing. I just Googled it. It's a real fruit made in North America.
Oh, okay. Well, I think berries specifically, like especially ones that have like little pits and things, like raspberries and blackberries, you have to wash them so good right now because there is this parasite or this like it's something going around and it's really prevalent in New York right now. It's this like parasite that will make you shit your brains out for a month. And like it might go away and come back and go away and come back. And I think some people have been like, maybe, I don't know if people died from it or not, but it's, I know Michigan had a really bad case. Have you heard about this?
No, I just texted Julie, watch your fruit. She has a lot of fruit. Yeah.
Let me see what it's called. I won't be able to pronounce it, I'm sure.
Groupies in this apartment.
So, parasite on fruit news. Let's see.
Ah, yes, the Parasite on Fruit Daily.
It says, an outbreak of diarrhea caused by a parasite has hit at least 1,700 people.
Whoa, 1,700
It's like,
people.
what to know about the diarrhea outbreak tied to fresh produce? These articles are so scary. Dozens hospitalized with sclerosis in cases of gastrointestinal illness spikes in 31 states.
Hold on.
You haven't heard about this?
Before you keep reading this, I had no idea that this was a thing. But you need to have the right song for this, if you will. So. Oh God. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. There we go. All right, proceed.
Okay, so I'm gonna play some information. I want you to hear this. Okay, so let me see if I can get the sound up. Oh, I have a commercial. Wait,
it's okay. We can
1 second.
You can listen to this shit while that shit happens.
Okay.
A parasite causing major stomach symptoms is spreading throughout the U.S. As Jonathan Siri reports, public health officials are now investigating how it all started.
A microscopic parasite causing a surge in foodborne outbreaks nationwide.
Watery diarrhea, cramping, bloating, fatigue, nausea, sometimes vomiting.
In Michigan, nearly 1,000 people have been diagnosed with a disease known as cyclosporiasis. According to the CDC, nearly 24 other states have reported cases. The agency says the parasite can spread through contaminated food or water.
Some of those things are tied to it due to its surface area, and there's more risk for exposure on them.
Infections usually occur during the summer months, but this year, states are already seeing more cases than normal. Public health experts say they're investigating what's driving the current outbreaks, but they're urging people to thoroughly wash fresh produce and to cook vegetables when possible.
For things like lettuce, you want to remove the outer couple of layers of leaves first, and then wash thoroughly under running water. For fruits and vegetables with a firmer skin, you want to wash those really thoroughly.
The CDC says symptoms can take anywhere from 2 to 14 days to appear. The illness is not usually life-threatening and can often be treated with antibiotics.
After the third day up to a week, that's the time you're going to feel that you're getting dehydrated. You're going to feel weak. You cannot focus. Sometimes you may have some fevers too.
Anyway.
Symptoms can
Oh my God. I can't stop laughing.
It says it
at the
goes
story.
I get the shits all the time.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know. My stomach's so sensitive. I can't poop more than I'm already pooping. Like, this would wreck me.
Yeah, and this is very serious, but I just couldn't stop laughing at that goddamn story. But anyways, to get from that shit to this shit, we got to keep this moving.
This is worse. I just looked at it. This article is scary.
Here's one that should make everyone pay attention, because this week the Trump Justice Department reportedly sent letters to election officials in all 50 states warning they could face criminal prosecution if they don't hand over voter registration records requested by the federal government. Here's where it gets wild. Those threats came after a federal court ruled that the administration's attempt to obtain those records were unlawful, aka illegal. The DOJ says this is all about election integrity, of course, making sure voter rolls are accurate. That can be a legitimate goal, and if states aren't following the law, they should absolutely be held accountable. But critics say this is not about accountability anymore. They argue it's about intimidation. Election workers have already spent years dealing with harassment, death threats, and accusations of frauds for simply doing their jobs. And now the federal government is sending letters reminding them that they could face criminal charges if they don't comply with requests that a court have already said is illegal. So think about that for a second. The people responsible for registering votes, setting up polling places, and counting ballots are now being told that they could be prosecuted for refusing demands a federal judge has already rejected. You don't have to be a Democrat or a Republican or even care much about politics to recognize that's an extraordinary thing for the federal government to do. Because you can support voter ID laws, you can support cleaning up voter rolls. Those are legitimate political debates. But threatening criminal prosecution against the very people running our elections or requests that have already been ruled illegal doesn't inspire confidence in the system. In fact, it does the exact opposite. Because seriously, nothing says trust the election process like threatening everybody running it. And that's the news. That's where we're at, people.
I think it's pretty clear that Donald Trump has dementia.
Oh yeah.
And I think that he's losing it.
Yeah.
And I also think that who's that senator that everyone thinks is dead right now?
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, like this is like a Lincoln and Bernie situation.
I'm right here. I'm ready to have a 20-minute conversation about Iran, the Middle East, and how much I love the president's little tiny ball sacks.
I think that Mitch McConnell, if he's not dead, he's probably like a vegetable.
Yeah, he's
I
saw a picture that got leaked. There's no way that there's people, especially all the people that released that script, the Republicans that all came out and were like, oh yeah, I had a conversation with Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes where we discussed a broad range.
No way.
They all had the same script. They all said the exact same thing. So really, Mitch McConnell was having timed conversations for 20 minutes about those topics with people. No, they showed a picture of him that got leaked out, and it didn't look good. He had like
if and when he dies, or if he's already dead, he's definitely either in hell or going to hell. That is a bad person.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's crazy that I believe that they're going to keep him alive till like August 4th. We're recording this on July 11th, so they're going to keep him a vegetable, and they're going to lie about him being alive for at least at this point over a month, because it's been like this for over a week.
But I also feel like Chuck Schumer, what a waste of space. He as Senate Minority Leader should just like go visit him.
Yeah,
listen, like I need to go see.
There's also not a cool way to walk in, especially because if you do find him like on his deathbed as a vegetable, not moving. It's not really like, aha, you son of a bitch, you're dying. It's like, it's kind of like, well, sorry for your loss. See you at the funeral. Let me know if I can do anything. Like, it's like, it's a no-win situation for them right now. I know you have to prove that he's dead, but like, they physically cannot be the ones to reveal his corpse out there, or his because they're going to get tore alive. Like, imagine if Trump sent a camera to Democrats, deathbed or something to verify something like that. We would go after his fucking toupee in a heartbeat. So yeah, I think there are ways to figure this shit out, but you can't just kick down the door in his hospice. But I mean, if the picture I saw is real, which it looked pretty real, I'm not gonna lie, this does not look AI. I'm pretty good at figuring out AI, not a boomer. I saw the tubes and shit coming out of him. He was not. I've seen people at the end, and that is not a man that's having conversations about Iran or anything in the matter. So, but anyhow, let's get on to
thoughts and prayers, you old fuck.
Okay,
all right.
It's time for Not the Drag Queens, because this week, and actually I got kind of stuck in this voice. Hello, everybody. How are you? That's what I think our friend Ron Prendamano used to sound like when he was a little teeny tiny kid.
Maybe.
He was so little. Hey, Ma, pass me the cookies. Anywho, this week on Not the Drag Queens, the drama isn't coming from a pride parade, of course. It's coming for the Department of Justice, because if the government can't keep making things worse, you ain't heard nothing yet. So let's definitely hit it with So the New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres is accusing President Trump's Department of Justice of obstructing the state's criminal investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch by refusing to provide unredacted federal records that investigators say are critical to identifying survivors, witnesses, and potential co-conspirators. Torres said his office has been waiting more than 130 days, despite repeated requests, arguing that every day of delay means memories fade, evidence disappears, and the chances of holding anyone accountable get smaller. The DOJ has pushed back, saying it responded to the request and remains willing to assist, but New Mexico officials maintain they don't have the records necessary to advance the investigation. And what's making this story even more explosive is the broader context. Because for years, many of Trump's supporters expected his administrations to fully expose everything related to Jeffrey Epstein and release all the remaining files. Instead, the administration has faced criticism from people across the political spectrum for appearing to move in the opposite direction. The DOJ recently stated it found no evidence of an Epstein client list and has resisted calls to release additional investigative records, 3 million of them, if you will. Meanwhile, critics point out that millions of pages of Epstein-related material remain under seal or otherwise unavailable to the public. There you go. Fueling accusations that the administration is doing more to close the book on the case than open it. Supporters counter that many of the records contain sensitive grand jury material, sealed court documents, or information that could identify victims, making broad public release legally difficult. Regardless of where you fall politically, the New Mexico investigation adds another layer to the controversy, because if a state attorney general is publicly saying the federal government isn't giving investigators the evidence they need to pursue potential crimes connected to one of the biggest sex trafficking cases in history, people are going to ask why. Whether it's bureaucracy, legal caution, or something more nefarious, it's only adding fuel to the story that people refuse to let slide anymore. Because people on both sides demand accountability, damn it. And it's sketchy as fuck that the federal government will do everything in its power to protect those that deserve to be held accountable. So remember, as we say each and every single week, the call is coming from inside the house.
I think the house is a great big white house.
That's right.
I think at that Zorro Ranch, I bet there's a lot of buried, remains of people. I think there's a lot of dead people
all kinds
throughout
of
the property.
Fuck yeah.
A lot of bones. Mm-hmm. That's a scary place.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And speaking of scary places, it's time to get scary. Oh yeah. Because oh my god, I just lost my breath thinking about all this Epstein stuff. I don't know why. It's just man, that's one thing after the next, right? It's good lord.
Sometimes I think that when we're getting closer to getting more answers about Epstein, Donald Trump's who can we bomb to divert the narrative?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Greenland some more.
I know.
You know what? We're gonna go after Iran some more, because I don't want people talking about the Epstein files. I think that sometimes.
I mean, that's literally, he just started bombing them again. So it's pretty much what it is. So yeah, man, it's crazy. Should be crazy. Anyways, yeah, it's time to get scary now. Super scary, because when people think about scary places, they immediately jump to haunted houses, creepy hotels, abandoned asylums, maybe a forest where people swear they saw Bigfoot taking a shit. But the places we're talking about today, these aren't your local Halloween attractions. No. These are real places on Earth that have earned their terrifying reputations. Places where people have actually disappeared. Places where stepping just a few inches in the wrong direction can get you killed. Places that are so dangerous that governments have literally banned people from going there. In one case, the people who live there will kill you before you even make it to shore. Some of these places are terrifying because of nature, some because of human history, some because of radiation, some because they're filled with terrifying creepy crawlers. But ladies and gentlemen, today we're counting down the top 10 scariest places to visit in the world. Not just the most haunted, not just the most mysterious, the places where literally reality is somehow scarier than fiction. And trust me, if you're one of those people who says I'd totally visit there by the end of this list, you might be rethinking those vacation plans. So let's get to it, Mr. Mo. We got a great list here. We got a mix of paranormal, we got scary shit, we got terrifying places, we got a little bit of everything here. So prepare to shit yourselves, people. Like SEMA?
Yeah, it's probably because you had fruit without washing it.
That's right.
Is this do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure, start it off.
Okay, so this place is in India. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Bangar Fort.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Bangar
Yeah,
Fort
Bangar
is one of India's most famous haunted sites. So, in a nutshell, if you go to visit and you want to go walk around there, you have to leave before the sun goes down. And you can't come back until the sun comes up for lots of reasons. And then the restrictions generally attributed to like safety concerns around like wildlife, unstable ruins, but there's also like a lot of local legends that attribute it to a curse. So there's some research on this. There's two different like curses or like folklore. One's called the Black Magician's Curse, and I was like, why is he gonna be black? But I think it has to do with black magic. I don't think he is black. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
basically there's this like sorcerer. This popular legend talks about this sorcerer named Singia, and he fell in love with this beautiful princess Ratnavati, and she was known for being like super sexy.
Hey.
But the sorcerer guy was in a different like social class, so he really shouldn't be involved with her.
So he was like a 6 and she was like a 10. So it's like you gotta go. I mean, maybe a 6 and an 8 can happen, but a 6 and a 10 is just not gonna happen. You gotta.
But like she was like royalty, and he was like basically like a pariah, and so he shouldn't even be like near her. So India historically has some pretty intense like social classes. He apparently tried to get her to fall in love with him with this love potion, and she knew what was going on, and so instead of like touching the potion, I think she like threw it against like a boulder, and with the magical properties, this boulder started to like roll towards him, and it crushed him. So like with his last breath, apparently he cursed the city to immediate destruction and its spirits to remain trapped forever without peace.
Wow.
So that's what a lot of the locals say. There's also an alternative legend that attributes the curse to some like holy dude named Baba Balau Nath. Baba Balau Nath.
Oh.
I guess.
Say that fast 10 times. Baba Balawa.
Yeah. He allowed this like fort's construction on one condition, that its shadow must never touch his meditation spot. So he's like, you can do whatever you want there, but I'm telling you, if you build too high and cast a shadow on my meditation spot, bad news to you and the entire community. And so some royal guy built a palace too high, and the shadow fell on his home, and then legend causing the entire township to instantly collapse. So in this fortress, locals adamantly claim that no roof can stand within the fort boundaries. So every single historical house and like marketplace structure stands completely open to the sky. So there's no roofs, because believers claim that any roof built here will mysteriously collapse overnight due to the ancient curse.
Wow.
Adding to the dread, the Archaeological Survey of India has posted an official notice board at the entrance. So they have like the sign up, and it says that entering the premises before sunrise and after sunset is strictly prohibited. So folklore will say that anyone who stays in the fort overnight will never return. Visitors who edge close to the ruins at like twilight report hearing phantom footsteps, disembodied whispers, clanking swords, and an overwhelming invisible weight causing sudden panic. But more like practical people are like, well, I think it's also they don't return because the surrounding area is part of the Sariska Tiger Preserve Buffer Zone, and like not just tigers, but after dark there could be like leopards, hyenas, and a lot of dangerous wildlife that
God
might be
damn.
killed. So this is like a huge tourist attraction, but I'm not interested in going there.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I already know. For example, I love tigers and shit like that. I fucking think they're so cool, but I don't want to be anywhere near one. I don't need to be.
I'm not trying to dog India, but like you can't give me a better like legend. I think those stories are kind of like subpar.
For the record,
sorry guys,
those are Sibo's opinions there, India. So if you decide to come after him, good people of India.
I know we have a lot of listeners in India, but like
they're just only 25% of our listenership. But go on with your bad self.
Well, because if you take a secret potion, you throw it against a rock and it rolls and like it crushes someone, and he's like, everyone's cursed. Like, I want more spectacle.
You want more spectacle? The Knicks literally just won the fucking whole thing for the first time in fucking 50 years because of a curse. You want to tell me that curses aren't relevant in 2026?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Anywho, what do you have first on your list?
There you go. I love you, good people of India. I got your back. But if I drink your water, I will shit myself. Just so I do know this. So stop signing it. I already know. But now we're going to go to Paris. The Catacombs of Paris. This is the city of the death beneath the city of light. And everybody thinks of Paris as the city of romance. Croissants, the Eiffel Tower, fancy cafes, McDonald's with wine in them. Good times. But what most tourists don't realize is that underneath all of that is a second city. A city built from the bones of over 6 million dead people. The Paris Catacombs stretch for more than 200 miles beneath the city. Most of them are completely off limits. The section tourists visit is barely 1% of the entire network. The rest is a maze of abandoned quarry tunnels, collapsed passageways, flooded chambers, hidden entrances, and dead ends. If you wander into the illegal sections without knowing where you're going, you can disappear surprisingly fast. The most famous real case happened in 1793 when Philibert Aspert, a hospital doorkeeper, entered the tunnels through a staircase near the Val de Grace Hospital. He was reportedly looking for a hidden cellar of chartreuse liqueur. He never came back. 11 years later, workers found his skeleton only a short distance from an exit he apparently couldn't locate in the darkness. His keys, clothing, and hospital identification allow them to identify the remains. Today, there's memorials inside the catacombs marking the spot where his body was discovered. Imagine dying, and then the exit was only a few turns away. Modern explorers, called cataphiles, or cataphiles, I don't know, it sounds sketchy, still sneak into the tunnels. Rescue teams are called out every year for people who underestimate the maze. In 2017, 2 teenagers spent 3 days lost underground before firefighters finally found them suffering from hypothermia. And then there's one of the creepiest mysteries. In 1993, police reportedly discovered a fully functioning underground movie theater hidden deep inside the illegal catacombs, complete with a giant projector screen, restaurant area, electricity, and even a telephone system. Years later, when officers returned, the entire operation had vanished. Only a note remained: do not try to find us. Whether that's an urban legend that's grown over time or an elaborate underground art collective, it perfectly captures a strange culture beneath Paris. So imagine getting lost in a maze made entirely of human skulls. Yeah, hard pass. I'm not fucking going here.
It sounds like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right? Fucking scary. Indiana Jones should have done that. Indiana Jones in the Catacombs of Paris. It's not too late, Harrison Ford. We can write it for you. Just give us some money. And I can play like young Indy or something. Somehow you turn Latino. we'll figure that out in the writing process. And Simo can play that gay dad, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. I think that when I hear catacombs, like I just thought of like cool like cave-like structures, and I never thought there was like so much death and like remains in there. Like I've always wanted to go to the catacombs, and now I'm like, no, better not.
Yeah. To be fair, when I think of catacombs, I think of Edgar Allan Poe, the cask of Amontillado, the guy that wakes up and he sees that somebody's putting bricks up on this wall, and he has them chained up there, and he's just going to leave them there forever. And he's like trying to beg the dude, like, please don't put the fucking bricks on. Please, please. And the other person, basically tells you, you're a piece of shit, you deserve it, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually he finishes the wall and leaves him there. So I think of catacombs have always been something creepy, in my opinion, even though, a lot of times the catacombs where you put like wine cellars and shit like that. It's like a cool spot in the basement down below, I guess. But yeah, they're creepy. Anyways, what you got next?
Next up, I have I don't know how to pronounce it. Hoya Basu Forest.
Oh, let me
Hoya Basui. Hoya Basu.
Hoya Bashu Forest.
Hoya Bashu?
Yeah. I just asked Google.
Hoya Bashu Forest.
There you go.
Which is known for like stories like UFOs, missing time, apparitions.
Well, I'm going to do the X.
While it's generally safe to visit during the day, some paranormal investigators say you shouldn't explore it alone at night because it's easy to become lost. So, I did some research, and apparently, like the trees in this forest do not grow straight.
Oh, just
they're gay. Yeah. Instead, they gnarled and contorted into impossible uniform U shapes and spirals. Mm-hmm. Scientists have tested the soil and found no genetic or chemical reason for this strange botanical growth. In the center of the forest lies a near perfect circular clearing where absolutely nothing grows. So again, soil scientists cannot explain why this patch remains completely bare. Paranormal investigators believe it functions as a portal to another dimension.
Whoa.
I think that people have said that they refer to it as like the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. You know, when people like just disappear in the Bermuda Triangle,
yeah.
I guess. That could have been my honorable mention. I don't want to go anywhere near that triangle.
Yes.
Okay. So, visitors consistently report leaving the forest with unexplained physical symptoms, and these include severe migraines, which suck. I know you know that. Nausea, heightened anxiety, and even physical scratches or skin rashes.
Wow.
Or maybe you're allergic to something in the forest.
Yeah, maybe there's radiation there, because that's weird.
Maybe. The forest is named after a local shepherd who allegedly ventured into the woods with a flock of 200 sheep and completely vanished. No traces of the shepherd, the sheep, or their bones were ever recovered.
Wow.
In 1968, a military technician photographed a saucer-like flying object hovering directly over the circular clearing.
Wow.
The image became globally famous, making the forest a major destination for ufologists and researchers.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That is really crazy. Let's see.
So I think this is in like Romania, like near like Transylvania, where Caitlyn Jenner was born. Just kidding. I just don't like her. I'm sorry. I know I should be supportive of like the queer community, but I feel like she turns her back on us with her votes. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. I always tell the gay bar, I'm like, guys, like I support the dolls, except for one. I don't support her.
Fuck her. Anyhow, up next on the list is another very scary place.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's so scary. I'm gonna try doing this. No, I can't do that voice. It is an island where evolution chose violence. It's Snake Island, where you would not pay me enough to go. Fucking hate snakes. But
I hate snakes.
about 20 miles off the coast of Brazil sits an island the government doesn't want you visiting. And not because of pirates, not because it's haunted, but because it's completely covered in venomous snakes. And Snake Island is home to the golden lancehead pit viper, a species found nowhere else on Earth. After the island became isolated from the mainland thousands of years ago, the snakes evolved some incredibly potent venom to quickly kill migratory birds before they could fly away. Estimates of the snake population vary widely, but researchers agree there are thousands on the island. Brazil's Navy tightly controls access. Only authorized scientists are generally allowed ashore. One of the island's most famous stories is that the last lighthouse keeper and his family were killed after snakes entered their home through the windows. It's a chilling tale. And no, there's no solid historical evidence that actually happened, but in reality, the lighthouse has been automated for decades, but it's pretty scary. Likewise, there are no verified modern cases of visitors dying from snake bite on the island because public access has long been restricted. Researchers who work there wear protective gear, move carefully, and have to follow strict protocols. That doesn't make the danger imaginary, though. Golden lancehead bites are considered medical emergencies, and without rapid treatment, they can cause severe tissue destruction, internal bleeding, and organ damage. And the island is so remote that a serious bite could quickly become fatal if medical evacuation were delayed. The scariest part isn't really the body count. It's that this is one of the few places on Earth where simply taking the wrong step could put you within striking distance of one of the world's most dangerous snakes. That's Snake Island.
I know a little bit about this place because I was married to a Brazilian, and I find this fascinating. I think that they estimate like 2,000 to 4,000 snakes on this island, and then basically that averages to like up like 1 to 5 snakes per square meter.
Yeah.
So you really just can't walk anywhere without
not seeing a snake.
I mean, they're literally everywhere.
Yeah, and I
It's a
fucking
snake
hate
pit.
snakes. I do not like snakes. That's why it's so filled with snakes that people can't go there. Like the government doesn't let you go. You will fucking die. There's no need to have reported deaths because they're just not going to even put that up to chance. Because you will die. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Can they swim to the mainland?
Well, I think that's too far for one of those snakes to swim, luckily. But some snakes do swim. Just yeah, they wouldn't go that far.
I'm gonna Google. Can golden, what's it called? Lancehead?
Yes, golden lancehead pit vipers.
Pit vipers swim to
they can swim
main
but
land.
It's primarily a tree dwelling and terrestrial snake, so it lacks a specialized adaptation for the open ocean. There you go. I saved you 45 minutes.
Can golden lancehead pit viper swim to the mainland from Snake Island? Question mark. No. Okay. All that. Siri was just like, no. Okay. So my next one is actually I think this is really creepy. I've never heard of this before. Have you ever heard of something called the Island of the Dolls in Mexico?
Oh no.
So this place isn't necessarily dangerous, it's just really scary. And so this is island in Mexico. It's covered with hundreds of decaying dolls hanging from trees.
Creepy.
The island's eerie appearance and tragic legend make it one of Mexico's creepiest attractions.
Yeah,
so a lot of people
pictures.
Go here.
That's creepy as shit, dude. Nah.
So I was doing some research on what happened. So apparently in the 1950s, this weird reclusive guy, this hermit named Don Julian Santana Barrera, or as Carlos would say, abuelo, he moved to the island. And he moved to the island just to get away from civilization. The legend states that he found a body of a young girl drowned in some canal, and then followed shortly by a floating toy doll. So he hung the doll from a tree to honor her spirit and protect himself.
Wow.
Believing he was actively hunted and haunted by the girl's ghost, Don Julian spent the next 50 years scavenging for more dolls. He pulled them from garbage dumps in the canal waters and hanging them across the entire acre of land. It's a small island.
Yeah.
The dolls are not pristine, so they are old, some bleached
they're
and
terrifying
rotting.
looking.
Many are decapitated, severed into loose limbs, covered in thick cobwebs, and filled with like nesting spiders and insects. So in 2001, Don Julian's obsession came to a sudden end. He was discovered drowned in the same exact canal, in the same exact physical spot where he claimed to have found the little girl decades earlier.
Dude.
So visitors and locals claim the island is deeply haunted. Popular lore dictates that the dolls whisper to each other in the dark, move their severed limbs, and open their eyes on their own. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no. Fuck that. Fuck that.
No way. I'd rather go to a MAGA rally than this shit.
Yeah, fuck that. Imagine being stuck there at night by yourself. Ooh. Yeah, not happening. I don't do with stories of dead little girls. I don't do with fucking little dolls all around. And if you Google those fucking dolls, it's terrifying. I would not be anywhere near that place. I watch enough horror movies to know that I'm out. You can call me a sissy, but I'm not going into the haunted house. I'm not going into the spot where there might be a scary killer. I'm not going into the basement that's dark by itself, and this creepy house when the power goes out. That's not me. I'm going to run away, and I'm not going to trip and fall over a tree. Well, and somehow I'm not going to let the killer who's walking catch me while I'm running full speed. That's not happening. I'm avoiding all those things. And part of avoiding all those things is not going to a creepy place filled with creepy dolls. But that's just me.
You know what? I don't want to say something insensitive, but sometimes like when there's like really unfortunate stories, like, you know, there was a murder that took place in a back alley at 4 a.m. in Baltimore City.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, nothing good happens in the back alley at 4 a.m. And people are like, this is so tragic. Like, how could we have prevented this? Don't go there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Don't go there.
That's true. Yeah, Baltimore. I remember last time I was in Baltimore as a single guy, this girl who I actually really liked. And sometimes I kick myself because this was my chance to get with her. She texted me "you up" type of thing when I was in town visiting.
Oh.
And but it was like 4:15 in the morning, man. And at that point, it's like, I'm not gonna fucking drive over there. Of course, I don't even have a car nearby. I'm not gonna walk over there. I'm like, Baltimore 4:15. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, I would love to, but it's fucking 4:15 right now. Like, are you crazy? And of course, I never got that chance again. Especially I was coming back here the next day. But yeah, no way. Sometimes it's better to just stay home, people. Stay home. But anyways, on to the next one. Because fuck those creepy dolls, people. Up next, we got the Bolton Strid, the river that almost never lets you leave. So here's the thing. This thing doesn't even look that dangerous. Seriously. It's like a little piece of water there. Only about 6 feet across in places. So most people think they can jump over it. And that's exactly what's terrifying. Because
do you think that maybe on Game of Thrones they called the house Bolton after this river, maybe?
No. Do you think Michael Bolton was named after this river? Or is Bolton just kind of a common name, perhaps?
Never thought about that.
Never.
Sorry, continue.
Thought about it. Okay, there you go. Glad I could help you think for a second. So, the Bolton Strait is where the river wharf. Wow, this all sounds very British. Where the river wharf narrows dramatically. But underneath that tiny surface is an incredibly deep network of underwater channels, hidden caverns, and currents powerful enough to drag someone beneath the rocks almost instantly. The water is heavily oxygenated, creating white water that hides what's underneath, and it also makes it incredibly difficult to float. The most famous story dates back to 1152, involving William de Rumilly, the young son of Lady Alice de Rumilly. According to local tradition, William tried to leap across the strait while chasing his hunting dogs. He slipped, was pulled beneath the water, and drowned. His grieving mother later donated land that helped establish nearby Bolton Priory. Historians debate some details, but the story has been tied to the strait for centuries. In more recent times, there have been several documented accidental drownings in the river wharf near the strait, including experienced walkers and photographers who got too close to the edge. Rescue teams consistently warn that even strong swimmers stand little chance if they fall into the main current. One reason it's so deadly is that the rocks lining the channel are also undercut. So you don't just fall into water, you can be sucked underneath shelves of rock where rescuers can't easily reach you. And local guides have a saying, "The strait has never given anyone back alive." That's an exaggeration, of course, but enough people have died there that locals treat it with genuine respect. So yeah, fuck that.
So this is in the UK?
Yeah, I believe so. Here was the Bolton Strait. Yeah, North Yorkshire, England. Within the Yorkshire Dales National Park. Yeah.
You know, I used to work sometimes in Connecticut, and there's this town. It's spelled Cheshire, but they pronounce it Cheshire.
Weird.
That's how you can tell like who's not local.
Cheshire.
So I would say Yorkshire, and they would probably say it's Yorkshire.
That's sure.
Okay, whatever.
Yorkshire. Yeah, peasant. Okay. Cheshire. That's what I would say.
Next up for me, it's kind of creepy. This is in Italy.
Oh.
Is I think they said something about Venetian something. That's Italy, I think. Venice is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this little island is called Poveglia, and it was once used as a quarantine island during like the bubonic plague outbreaks. And then later, like in the 1920s, I think it was used as like a psychiatric hospital. It's abandoned and surrounded by ghost stories and unexplained phenomena. So I dug a little deeper. I was like, what's the deets? So often called the world's most haunted island, Poveglia was used as a plague quarantine station and later housed a psychiatric hospital. It's abandoned, closed to the public, and entering without permission is illegal. Even setting aside the ghost stories, the decaying buildings make it physically hazardous. So during the plague outbreaks, this island was used to isolate the sick, and an estimated 100,000 to 160,000 people died on this little island and were buried in mass graves or cremated there. So local lore suggests that the island's soil is largely made up of human ash.
Whoa.
In the 1920s, this mental hospital was established on the island, and dark legends claim that patients were routinely abused and subjected to unethical experimental treatments.
Wow.
According to one of the most popular and chilling myths, there's a doctor at this island. He performed really cruel experiments on his patients. It is said that he was driven mad by ghosts, eventually either thrown himself or being pushed from the institution's bell tower. So it's this huge like bell tower story.
Wow.
Because of the suffering, the island is often featured on shows investigating the supernatural. Visitors claim to hear phantom cries and ringing bells, and local fishermen generally avoid that area entirely. Setting aside the ghosts, the island, as I mentioned earlier, is like just physically dangerous. The buildings are completely abandoned, crumbling, structurally unstable, which is the reason the Italian government prohibits the public from visiting. There's also a lot of asbestos, so like, but of course, there's people like, I gotta go there, I gotta check it out.
Right.
No, you don't. Go if you want to have a good time. Go to Florence.
Yeah.
Do some shopping.
Yeah.
Get a cappuccino.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. You already have ghosts and other dangers? No. Too much. You can do one or the other, maybe. Not both.
If you really want to be scared for free, like, or for $3, take the A or the C train after midnight. You know what I mean?
It's the biggest haunted house in New York City.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That dude just pissed on his hands and now he's trying to touch me. Ah!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not good. Not a great time to be on there. Anyways, up next, another place that's never a good time to be around is the Chernobyl exclusion zone, the place where an entire city stopped existing overnight. Because let's take you back to April 26, 1986, northern Ukraine. And that's interesting enough. That's 2 days after the birth of my brother. So, coincidence? I'm not trying to put something out there that my brother's birth caused Chernobyl, but you can't, just saying. Just saying.
I mean,
anyways.
I'm not going to rule it out.
That's right. So April 26, 1986, in the northern Ukraine area, during a late-night safety test at Reactor 4, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, operators disabled critical safety systems, and a design flaw in the reactor contributed to a catastrophic power surge. The reactor exploded, blowing the roof off the building and sending massive amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere. Firefighters were among the first on the scene. Many had no idea they were walking into one of the worst nuclear disasters in human history. Several received massive radiation doses while trying to extinguish fires on the reactor roof. Many died within weeks from acute radiation syndrome. Nearby Pripyat, a city of nearly 50,000 people, wasn't evacuated immediately. Residents watched the fire from apartment balconies while invisible radioactive particles drifted through the air. The evacuation finally came about 36 hours later. People were told they'd be gone for only a few days. Most never returned. Today, the city remains frozen in time. Toys still sit in classrooms, apartments remain furnished, the famous Ferris wheel never officially opened before the evacuation. And as for the wildlife, Chernobyl has become one of the strangest ecological experiments on Earth. Because without humans, wolves, lynx, elk, wild boar, and even bears have expanded into the exclusion zone. And some early reports sensationalized stories about hordes of grotesquely mutated animals, but the reality is more nuanced. Science have documented radiation-related effects in some plants, insects, birds, and small mammals, yet there's no evidence of giant, two-headed monsters roaming the forest. Nature, remarkably, has reclaimed much of the area despite the lingering contamination. That contrast is what makes Chernobyl so unsettling. It isn't packed with monsters. It's a place where humanity just vanished, and the forest quietly moved back in. And if you went now,
did you watch that show on Netflix about this?
I think it was HBO. The
HBO,
the miniseries on it, right?
Yeah,
it was HBO. That was fucking crazy, dude.
I never watched because I was like, I have a feeling everyone's gonna die, and I just can't handle that.
Well, there's a lot of death, but there's also, because Chernobyl was also a big cover up after the fact. So then you see how that happened. It's honestly really good. It's half spy-ish, half disastery, but also you see stories of the people doing the rescuing, and then you see you do see the super depressing side of the radiation poisoning, but honestly, it's worth a watch. It's really good. It's well made. it does. It's such a crazy story that by sticking to the facts, like it's as dramatic as it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So check it out. You'll like it.
Well, speaking of radiation poisoning, my next one's in Japan.
Ooh.
You know what? I realized that Pearl Harbor,
Republic of Japan, who's apparently bombing us, according to the president.
Oh my gosh, wild! You know, I know that Pearl Harbor was a bad moment in American history, but the bombs dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. I'm so embarrassed about that. I know it was a long time ago, but like that's a bad day in American history.
Yeah,
it's not tit for tat when like. Bombing in general is bad, but like to just demolish two heavily populated cities, it's just like I just don't think that the amount of casualties were comparable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yikes! Right, and then people were still getting sick after the fact because of radiation. Ugh. So sad. Okay, speaking of sad stuff in Japan, this place is called Aokigahara. Aokigahara.
You're making it sound like it's like Steve Aoki's like fun park or something.
Steve Aokigahara's Japan Park. Okay, so I think this translates to Sea of Trees. So this forest has a tragic history of suicides. A lot of people I know it as like suicide forest.
Yeah.
It's become one of the world's most like infamous, supposedly haunted locations. Visitors report hearing whispers, seeing shadows, and becoming disoriented. So I dug into this a little bit. So this suicide forest is a 30 square kilometer like woodland situated at the northwest base of Mount Fuji in Japan, and it stretches across the Yamanashi prefecture. So basically, it was formed roughly like 1,200 years ago on hardened volcanic lava, and it's known for its quiet, dense canopy. Okay, so tourists are strictly advised to remain on the marked hiking trails. The dense trees and porous lava rock absorb sound, creating a highly disorienting environment where wandering off the path can be dangerous. So I was looking into that. I was like, well, what's that mean? So like when you go to like recording studios, they have like foam on the walls to absorb sound. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like,
so I guess like this like the volcanic, or I guess the lava rock also absorbs sound. So basaltic lava rock is naturally highly porous, filled with thousands of tiny little air pockets, and these pockets act like natural acoustic foam. So it absorbs sound waves instead of reflecting them. So this creates like a really intense, unnatural silence.
Wow.
Like where other places you could hear like, like echoes and things and
echo
and animals. This place you hear nothing.
An echo. Hello.
Echo.
I farted.
Does a bear shit in the woods? Not here. You can't hear it. If you can't hear it, it didn't happen. So for visitors, this profound quiet can induce a deep sense of solitude, isolation, or sensory deprivation, which may heighten existing emotional vulnerability. Also, there can be some compass disruption. So the lava foundation contains high levels of magnetic iron. I think it's called magnetite.
Right.
So if you place a mechanical compass directly on the volcanic rock, the needle will align with the localized magnetism of the stone rather than the true north.
Wow.
I don't think that the magnetism is enough to affect your cell phone, but I do think cell phone service drops primarily because the tree canopy is incredibly dense.
Yeah.
And that blocks signals, but not due to magnetic interference. So anyway, I guess my point is, you go to this forest, you walk through, it's so quiet, and then when it's so quiet, you're just stuck with your own thoughts, and your own thoughts can be
dark,
amplified. And then there's all these signs that are they're like, hey, like, call this hotline. You pull out your phone, and guess what? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
And all of a sudden you hear whisper.
And then you're like, you know what? I gotta get out of here. And you look at your compass. You're like, well, I don't even know which way north is anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just don't go there.
And then you hear a whisper.
I wouldn't want to go anywhere where I'm gonna find bodies and people hanging from trees, or like campgrounds where people leave like suicide notes. Like, that's gotta be super eerie. Fuck that.
And no, if you're walking around and it's super quiet, and all of a sudden you hear a whisper, it's gonna be louder by comparison. So it makes it extra creepy. Imagine you're walking around the fucking forest. You can't hear anything at all.
Scary stuff.
And all of a sudden you just hear, fuck you, Sebo. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, that place.
And that voice sounds very much like my mother.
Sebo's mom calls him Sebo.
Yeah.
That's what she sees.
She calls me faggot. So this one, your last one, is I think the scariest.
Yeah,
I'm glad this is number one.
Yeah, this is fucking terrifying. It's the island that refuses the modern world. North Sentinel Island. I don't know why I'm doing that laugh, because it's not like they're ghosts, but this is near India, India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Honestly, the water is beautiful. You think this would be a beautiful paradise where people will just love you when you come in, and you'll have mojitos or something, and little tree monkeys and bow ties selling you drinks and stuff. You think it's like paradise on earth. But there may be no place on earth more isolated than North Sentinel Island. And the people there, the Sentinelese, have lived there for thousands of years with virtually no sustained outside contact. Because they have almost no immunity to common diseases, even well-intentioned visitors could unintentionally trigger a catastrophic epidemic. That's one reason India enforces a strict exclusion zone around the island. The tribe has also made one thing unmistakably clear. They do not want visitors. One of the most famous deaths... Bless you? Good Lord.
No. I was... no. I was trying to do... like when they take the little like straws and they blow darts through it.
Oh, I thought you were sneezing into a wiener.
No. Like...
You look like you're hot tooing on that thing.
You ever see Apocalypto, and they have like they have like a bamboo shoot, and they shoot poison darts.
They hold it like not.
Oh. I was trying to add to the ambiance here. You do that kind of like our president giving a speech. Remember that? Remember when he like pretend to like suck a dick?
I don't understand why he even started doing that. Like that was like he was talking about something else, and then he just started doing that. Like what?
What a fucking loser.
Yeah, but anyways. So one of the most famous deaths happened in 2006 when two Indian fishermen accidentally drifted ashore after falling asleep in their boat. When a helicopter later tried to recover their bodies, Sentinelese islanders fired arrows at the aircraft, forcing it to retreat. Then came John Allen Chow in 2018. A 26-year-old American missionary, Chow paid local fishermen to illegally take him near the island. He believed he had been called to bring Christianity to the Sentinelese. His first attempts ended with arrows being fired at him. According to his own journal, one arrow struck the Bible he was carrying. Instead of leaving, he went back. The fisherman watching from offshore later reported seeing islanders drag his body across the beach after he was killed. Indian authorities ultimately decided not to recover his remains because doing so would endanger both rescue teams and the Sentinelese. There's also a persistent story that Michael Rockefeller, the son of New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller, died on that island, but that's probably false, people, just to clear some rumors. He disappeared in 1961 after swimming towards shore when his canoe capsized, but the evidence points to him reaching the nearby coast of New Guinea, more than 2,000 miles away, where some researchers believe he was killed by a member of the Asmat people, so not the Sentinelese. But what makes North Sentinel Island terrifying isn't just the hostility. It's that one of the last places on Earth where modern civilization simply stops. There's no roads, there's no internet, there's no islands, no rescue. Like, if something goes wrong, there's no backup plan. And the island has spent thousands of years making sure it stays that way. So that's why it's number one. You go there, you're instantly gonna die. And
I think that like in the 90s there were efforts to like connect, and I think that there was like pictures of a lot of people giving the Sentinelese, what do you call them?
Yeah.
The Sentinel people, they were giving them coconuts.
Oh.
If you Google, you'll probably see pictures of people like in the water, like handing. They don't go on shore; they're just in the water. Like, here, take a coconut.
Wow!
And then eventually, the government was like, "Don't do that anymore. It's not safe."
Yeah, it says yes. In the early '90s, Indian anthropologists successfully made rare peaceful contact with otherwise hostile Sentinelese, led by researchers like Triloknath Pandit and Madhumala Chattopadhyay. Teams visited North Sentinel Island, built temporary rapport by offering large quantities of coconuts, a valued food source that does not grow naturally on their isolated island. Wow. Yeah.
You know what? If I can give these North Sentinel Island people any advice, I would say kill the white man. Because when white people came to America, they brought smallpox to the Native Americans. They brought a lot of STDs.
Well, that's why they don't have immunity to these modern diseases, so they literally would die of everything if we even got that.
Correct. So,
but no,
so I don't blame them.
The thing you brought up, this coconut thing in the 90s, one of the reasons that they allowed to happen was because the people were given the coconuts were never allowed on shore, so they stayed at the shoreline. And so, like, that was one of the reasons why they were cool with it. It was like a very, sure, we'll take your fucking coconuts, but you stay there, buddy. I'm watching you, you know? But yeah, the Indian government was like, guys, that's probably not a great idea.
Yeah, I get it.
Crazy.
I agree. I concur.
Well, folks, that was our list of the top 10 scariest places. Yes, very scary stuff. These are the scariest places to visit on this earth. These are real places. These are not from a fucking book or a comic book or a movie, but boy, they should be. So let us know what you thought of the list, and let us know if there's any other scary places. Like Bermuda Triangle, good honorable mention. And if you grew up watching cartoons as a millennial, I feel like the Bermuda Triangle was everywhere. It was like everything was, you got lost in the Bermuda Triangle. So that could have been a good one. But let us know. FratChatPodcast@gmail.com, and also let us know of any other topics you want to talk about, emails from the listeners, anything of the sort. Shoot us an email, FratChatPodcast@gmail.com. And also, make sure you give us a follow on all the social channels at FratChat Podcast. That's on Instagram, that's on Facebook, that's on Threads, that's on YouTube, Twitter/X. Make sure you give me a follow as well. Check out my old website, CarlosGarciaComedy.com. You can also check out my socials. Carlos Does the World. That's on Instagram. That's on TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Facebook. Carlos Does the World on Twitter/X. And you can also check out my buddy Simo here at chris.moore.comedy on TikTok, on the old Instagram, and Seymour Comedy on Twitter/X. Oh, yeah. So, Mr. Mo, now that I'm scared shitless, it's time for us to roll. So why don't you please get us out of here?
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
And I second. All right, you guys will be back next week with another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'll see ya.
Wash your fruit. Bye.
Wash your fruit.